Hey guys, Darkwater here, and we are back in Fallout 4. We're going to be taking a break from my Let's Play series here in Fallout 4, where we are playing as the iconic Lucy McLean from the Fallout TV show. If you guys have not seen any of my Let's Play series, be sure to check them out. We are currently on episode 7, I believe, and I believe tomorrow episode 8 will be coming out. So be sure to check out the series. I will leave a link to them in the description below. With that being said, we are currently on my Let's Play profile, but today we are going to be doing some settlement building here in Sanctuary. It has been a really long time since my actual build video here in Fallout 4. And I thought, what better way to start building again in Fallout 4 than to recreate what is my most popular build here on the channel than my strip mall build. If you guys have not seen it, I'll throw a picture of it on the screen here and also leave a link to it in the description below. Otherwise, I'm also going to be going over that video before we start building, just so I can refresh my memory and make sure that I'm recreating it almost, if not exactly, to how it was originally built. I will be glancing at some pictures I have on my phone of the build as we go along, just so that way I stay on track and make sure that I'm doing it correctly the way I did it before. I posted this video many years ago along with a bunch of other builds from when I was back on PlayStation 4. For those of you who are new or do not know, I used to play Fallout 4 on PS4 and was doing a bunch of different builds without using any mods. I was using Creation Club content. You can argue if there are mods or not, but what have you. For the sake of right now, let's not argue that. I was on PS4 up until my game save became too big for the PlayStation to handle, and I lost everything that I had built and all the progress I made in Fallout 4. So that, along with a bunch of other different reasons that came up over the past few years, is why I took such a long time away from YouTube and stopped posting any Fallout content. Once you have that much progress and it's just gone and there's nothing you can do, it's heartbreaking. But thanks to the Fallout TV show that came out earlier this year, I have been inspired to pick the game back up once again, but this time on PC. Nonetheless, I am back here on YouTube, and I aim to continue to upload more Fallout content for you guys, along with some other series that I have going on and also plan to do. If you guys are here for Fallout, that's okay, I understand, because Fallout will always remain a staple here on the channel for as long as Fallout exists. But I am open to any and all suggestions you may have. If there is something you guys would like to see, any games you'd like me to play, any ideas for building, or anything at all, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear them. And just a full disclosure before we begin, because we are playing on my Let's Play profile, I am playing with mods and Creation Club content. However, I do not have any building mods installed on this profile, or in my game at all. Additionally, when making this build, either back then or now, I did not use any mods or any Creation Club content. They were only used strictly for decoration purposes. However, I did use the Wasteland Workshop and the Far Harbor DLCs. So if you're looking to recreate this in your own game, you will need those DLCs. Additionally, this video will be a bit longer of a video, but it is a full build video on how I built this. If you want to skip ahead, I will leave timestamps in the description below, so that way you can go to the respective chapter if you're looking for a specific part. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe to the channel to help me grow. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so this is my original building video. Not the full original. This is actually a trimmed down version. The original had a lot of copyright songs on it that I had to remove. But nonetheless, this is the original build from 2018. So we're going to review it real quick. This is just a guided tour at this point. But yeah, let's see what I did so we can fully get it recreated. I remember these old PlayStation 4 intros.
You know what? Since we talked, I'm feeling swell.
That's not
Look at the
existent
two of
anymore.
us here in Sanctuary, prepared for the future.
Alright, so this is, again, you don't see any of the building process that I used because of all the copyrighted songs I used. It is what it is. I didn't know about the copyright-free songs at the time. So, right here, I did... I'll show you guys how I did the wall layouts as well as the doorway entries. That one is... I don't know if that trick still works, but we're going to try it. I'll at least show you what I did. But for those of you who aren't familiar with this build, secondly, I started off with the foundation, and we're going to fully recreate this right after this part. But the basic shape is this giant rectangle. It's a 2-story rectangle, and then I added 1 additional square. So it's 3 by 6. If you want to count the floor, it's actually by 8, I believe, or 7. I think these are halves, but so it's 3 by 6. So a giant rectangle with the overhang. These warehouse walls and the half walls definitely help. I'm not going to be doing any decoration in the video, just because I don't have all this stuff yet. This is very early on. We're only at episode 8, I believe, of our Let's Play. So we're nowhere near at this level where I was at the time. Ooh.
Excuse me.
You look like someone who could use a haircut.
Skip ahead a little bit.
You know what?
Let's actually rewind it. Let's see if I can spot. Because I didn't really showcase how I wired the building up with power. But I made all the wires hidden. And the way I do that is by conduits. I actually hide them up here on top. The pylons and conduits.
You know what? Since we talked, I'm
skip ahead a little bit.
For the future.
This little corner store. So the stores aren't actually that big. I can't really see the wires up here. You can see a little bit where the lights are. The Voltec lighting. I don't know if I have those yet. I think I have to do the Vault 88 quest. Another little corner store. Okay. So I remember how I did the lighting. I'll show you guys, or all the wiring. It's completely hidden throughout this build, but it does exist. As you can see, the power comes in through this pylon right here on the side, and it goes up. And I'll show you guys how I did that. It's actually a really neat trick. You can do this for any builds. There's got to be a way to throw. I don't remember the throw button. So, while editing this video, I just watched this segment again, and I actually figured out how to throw. It took me, I don't know however long this game has been out, to figure out how to throw items. And if you're playing on an Xbox controller, you hold A to pick up an item, and then you hold X, and then the item throws. If you're on PlayStation, I think it's square. But yeah, you hold X on PlayStation and hold square, and that's how you throw items. I never knew that until now. So yeah, this is a full piece. This is a... So it's by 7, and then a little one piece on the side here. And then right here, back it up here a little bit. So this is the generator for this building just by itself. The wire comes in from here and goes up to a pylon up here on the wall. Again, completely hidden. The only thing you notice is that. The rest of the wiring is completely hidden from view. And I did that on purpose because I don't like the look of wires. I really try to hide them. I forgot what... Yeah, so it's just a little staircase with a bathroom. This is where the start of the second floor. And then we go up to the bar area, the lounge. You could make this into a restaurant. That might be a cool idea as well. Nice glass wall with the diner benches, bar, the jukebox. I don't like the unfinished wall texture where you just see the studs. It's the only downside about using the warehouse pieces. And a lot of the assets you see from, like, this guy right here is from the Slocum's Joe workshop, the Creation Club content. A lot of the decorated plants are, and that's the auto close door from Slocum's Joe. You can get mods that do the same thing, but that's the view during the day. This is it at night. It's got a little sign for food. I use the neon lights. A salon, barber shop, general store, general goods. And aside from the placeable items, like the TV and other stuff, all like the cans and stuff was all placed by hand. It took a lot of time to do that. Some outdoor track lighting. So all this decoration here on the inside of, not so much that one, but here, all the shelves, all this stuff was placed by hand. I remember it taking forever to get it to look good and lived in. And then you go upstairs again, and you got the restaurant. And everyone's up here. Well, almost everyone. That generator is super loud.
I really should study my lines.
Nice and cozy. So these are from the Vault-Tec Workshop DLC. I believe these are 2, if I'm not mistaken. Same with all the new equipment. The boxes, decoration, that's from Slocum's Show.
I shot my liver.
I don't remember if those are placeable or not. I think they are. All this, placed there by hand. These boxes, I think the boxes were not.
Yes.
I like that fridge. That's from, I think, the Modern Furniture. Side note, those refrigerators, I don't remember if they have power or not. It could be a mod that I was thinking of, but there's a refrigerator that actually turns like Nuka-Cola's ice cold. I don't remember which one that is, so I think I could have sworn it was part of that, but I'm not sure anymore. Although I said it was a mod. Like I said, it's been ages, so I don't remember. One last walk around. Oh, there's Nick Valentine. Alright, so that's the original build. So we're going to try to recreate this, show off how I built this. You see that pylon coming into that floor right there. But yeah, let's do it. Let's get building. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to scrap this house and scrap that guy. So we got our basic foundation. I'm not using any scrapping mods or anything like that. So for this structure, you're going to end up using the warehouse and possibly the barn pieces. I think, yes. So start with the foundation pieces. I might have to cheat a little bit. I think they're the same, aren't they? No, they're different. Yeah, let's do the warehouse pieces because that looks a little bit better. So it was 3 by 6. And then for the floor right here, you can use these guys. It makes it easier so you don't have to worry about it. And then, okay. So now this is the basic outline. I could actually, I'm going to change this up because I don't need that so big. So we'll put these in here. Sometimes it does that. It'll just randomly not want to snap in spot. But now that we got that, so I lined, this might not be exactly perfect, but we'll take this foundation piece. So the way you guys do this is if you select that one piece and press and hold on Xbox controller, it is the A button. You can move that around and bring it down to get it nice and neat and where you want it. I might actually put that here, but just be careful when you do that because it will pick up everything that is placeable in that area. So, and that is the rough shape of it. And then you can use any sort of stairs that you want. I prefer the concrete stairs, these ones, because they're nice and low to the ground. I might actually bring it forward a little bit. Yeah. I might swap these with... Yeah, they're a little too short. So if you go to the wood structures, for some reason my thing is not showing up properly. You can also go use these. These are shorter ones. Unfortunately, I need some longer ones, so we'll use these steps. You can get them put in here. I'll just do it like that. This is mostly for the AI pathing, so that way the AI doesn't have any trouble getting onto these. Because they do. It is what it is. And I'll just put these all around so that I don't have to worry about it. That one's not going to snap, but that's fine. And then as for the poles, if you go to the barn tab, you can use metal or you can use wood. If you want to use wood, it's a barn. If the metal is going to be warehouse. So because it's a industrial sized building, we're going to go to the warehouse, miscellaneous, and we're going to use a bunch of these for supports. This is all aesthetic. You don't need these. I prefer them because to me it adds a bit more realism, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Again, it's 100% aesthetic. You don't need them at all if you don't want to, but I prefer them in my builds just because it looks nicer. So now we got the foundation completely done. This is a great way to start, and then we can move on to the railings. You can use any railings you want. I prefer a wood railing, and if you're going to use a railing, some people like this to mix it up. That's your choice. I prefer when it's nice and neat and looking. This isn't bad. Everyone has their own preference. But I'm not going to use these when I'm using these. I'm going to make it look very similar to what I had, or to what I have. Just because that's 100% something I like. I like it when it looks nice and neat and well put together. You can even put that here. That's as far as I'll go with this. I won't really, like I said, I won't use these. I won't use this part. I try to stick to the same type. Completely random. It's up to you guys, however you do it, but sometimes I'll use the same one. I know it kind of just repeats the same thing, but I like that better. Yeah, okay, so now we got that. We're going to start with the wall. I'll start with the back wall first because we don't need it, or it's just going to be covered up by this bush anyway. These will snap in. Now that I started, a way you do this when you have two foundation pieces and you want a wall in between them, start with a foundation on the edge. Whether you remove a foundation piece or floor piece, start with that first, and then you can snap them on together like that. That is the, by far, easiest way to do it, and completely way less of a headache. For the glass walls, I prefer the undamaged glass. That seemed to work pretty good. So I get the layout of what I want first, or how I want it to look, and then go from there. Then I think that's where it cut off. No. I think that's as good as we're going to get for the door. There's holes in it. Alright, so the glass. Let me actually take a look at this. Sorry about that. So I'm just taking a look at this picture of my thumbnail. Okay, so I actually did not use these pieces. It's fine. I mean, it is what it is. I can get rid of them. Not worried about it. So I used all these. So I was right the first time. So I used all these, the unbroken ones. So I'm just going to put a bunch of these down. Sacrificing all that glass. One wall. Don't look, guys. Don't look, guys. I'm going to cheat. All right. I'm on PC, if that's a dead giveaway, but I'll just turn these in, and I miraculously have glass. Also scrap that stuff. Anyway, so, I do not, I'm not going to do that every single time. This is just to showcase this build to you guys, but yeah. If you are on PC, if you want to do that, that's perfectly fine. That's your choice. So this is an annoyance area. So I have a wall there already, so it's nice to be able to do that. So sometimes the snapping bites with you, and it's kind of annoying. So, alright. Just going by the reference photo here. I had one there, one there, one here, one here, yeah, and one here, I guess. Okay, so this was the layout, and then I had walls that separated the back, which I just did like here. Oop. Don't mind that guy. And that one came to about here. Oop. Wrong way. Again. Come on. There we go. There we go. And then what I did is continued that down. That's what I mean. It likes to fight while I'm trying to snap into place. There we go, we got it. Was that store that small? Or am I doing this too small? No, it was two. It was two spaces. No, hold on, I'm looking. I think I see what I did here. Okay, so I did not do this. So, I'm going to scrap that. Yep. Alright. So, I actually did this. Come on. Oh, I hate it when it does this. Does not go in the right direction. This is where, if you got a piece that you need to put in, and you need to face the correct direction, grab your wall piece. Wrong piece that I grabbed. Or grab your floor piece, move it out of the way. Ah, come on. There we go. And then you can snap your wall in. So sometimes it might actually be better for you to snap the walls first if they're going to be like that. There we go. That's better. And then that was a glass wall. Not pure glass, it's one of these. Oh, I fell. That's right. Jump. Oh, I fell again. Okay. That's gonna fight me. Get this. Not quite. There we are. Yeah, I'm gonna get some of these in. There we go. Actually, I'm gonna change this. Oop. That happened. Just for you guys, I will change up my railing. Alright, then we'll get those pieces in for the support. Oh, that's another thing. If you guys want to put supports in, put them in before you put the railings in. For some reason, the game does not like putting the railings in after the wall pieces or railings are done. It's one of those weird things about the game. Alright, so now that these are done, we're going to add the piece that goes on top. So for these, I just did this. Ah, come on. Snapping is so finicky. Don't like to snap on to turn on the wall. They snap to the actual bottom wall underneath it. Like that. And then they snap together. And then I can put these in. There we are. And then we'll get our separation walls in. So start with the top. And what I wanted to do with this is to actually alternate these. So if I had a store that only had an interior wall, I wanted them to have an exterior wall as well. With the, I think, exception of this one. I really don't like to snap here on the corner. There we go. And then I'll put these up. And I did that for decoration purposes, to put stuff on the walls and be able to make it look somewhat nice. This will separate the rooms, or in this case storefronts, or stores, and then we got that. So we also had this little segment where it came up so the way I did this to make it actually work, I think I did, it's on the second one right here, is I did a half wall and then did a floor piece. So this was actually just empty space back here. Didn't need it, but what I ended up doing with it is I turned this into a bathroom. So then I'll actually could have saved that one piece, but it is what it is. And this was the bathroom. And then we'll add another staircase right here. And a second half wall. And this is the bar area. And then we got the floor up here. So we'll use that piece and that piece. Well, actually, get rid of that. I don't need it. We don't need that. Sometimes when placing floors, as you can tell, it's wanting to snap to that. Sometimes it's easier just to let it snap and then try to go from a different angle. It's very temperamental. I think it's because it doesn't want to snap on the outside of the wall. I don't remember if I did think I did just 2. I don't think I did 3. Let me look again. I do apologize. I keep looking at my old video just so that way I have this. Yep, it was just 2. Okay. So, just this back here. So, save that floor. Again, I prefer the way the floor is rotated into the correct direction. And then we'll actually put that guy right there. And then I'll add a single cube space right here. Nah, I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, there it is. And I just use a bunch of these. Snapping is not my friend right now. I think these actually were half walls. Like that. And then I put this glass over the top. And you level up a lot from building. The more you build, the more you level up. Like that. And that was the kitchen area, or the bar area, I guess. Kitchen, bar, same thing. Now, I don't quite like how this looks when you do that transition. So I might do something like this. And then for this wall, I'm going to show you guys a nice little building technique using some of these weird shapes that you can use, which makes it, I think, look a lot nicer. So for example, like this one right here. So either these diagonal shapes or this one. Now sometimes they are very particular on the way they work. So for example, this one would be great to use right here, in case I didn't want to do it. So I'll actually mimic that and keep that same idea around, and use some of these quarter or half walls instead of what we were using before, and then I'll use the glass up here. And then to fill in that gap, I actually use this piece right there. So that way it's a nice seam transition into a full glass wall to a half glass wall. And then this is very dependent on which building or what side you are, but these snap very well to this and makes it look way better. But then you can get creative with them as well. So let's just finish this up and I'll show you guys what I mean by that. So get that wall in there, and then you got a nice full view of them hammering and all the wrecked houses at Sanctuary here. Yeah, it's temporary until you got this. Now, I could just leave this a full open wall, because that is a really nice area to look at. So I could do something like that. I'd actually use the ones without broken glass. I'm out of glass again. Great. So I could do something like that. Let's get that shipment back. 10 should be good. In case you guys are wondering too, for those who do use console commands for building materials, it is so much easier to transfer and add shipments of items to your settlement workshop compared to spawning the items on your person, or spawning the actual amount of material on, adding it to your inventory through the console command is actually, because it just overweights you, and then if you add too much, it can actually break the game. But okay, Here's a good example of I want to go to just the top wall, or top one. So we're going to go to this guy, and then add in, where is it? That piece right there. So I want to transition from a full wall to a half wall of window. That is a great way to do it, like that. That's misaligned. It's the wrong piece, that's why. If you guys notice that, it's because you're using the wrong piece. These also snap to these angle pieces. They're actually for roofs, but... And that piece is not aligned properly. There we go. That's better. Yeah, that's better. So this is a nice showcase of how to do something like this. I prefer this style because then you get a nice showcase of over here, the beautiful landscape over here. This, not so much, but even over here is better. But that's just an example. So to showcase what I did for my Minutemen build, I probably should be storing these, not scrapping them. It's probably where I run out of materials all the time. So we're going to start with a wall. Just a plain wall. Actually, I'll go back to what I was doing before. So start with that. And then if you guys want to do like a cool design like I did, if you want, for example, like a wave effect, grab, this is, you can use this with any piece. I prefer this with glass because it makes it creative. Grab this piece right here and turn it. And then you can have it on the ground, or you can put it back up. Now, if you want to turn it back up, you grab the opposite piece and do that. It is important that you do the window first. And there is a left and a right. But you do something like that. And then to fill that in, you can use glass or you can use wood, you can use that, but you simply use the corresponding piece to fit it in. And then to fill in the top, that's where these come in. Not those. You're going to use, where are they? Those pieces right there. And you use something like that. So as you can see, they don't snap, they snap a certain way. We're going to use that downstairs, this technique. But this is a good example of how you get this nice window effect. And you can do this in any sort of fashion if you want to do the top. Either way, this is how I did that design look. Just by doing these different pieces that you get from the barn and the warehouse DLC. And they're part of the, not DLC, but the menus. And they're part of the contraptions DLC. So as you see, this is what it looks like. You do get that roof overhang on there, but that's actually pretty cool. I like that look. It's definitely unique and different. And I kind of like those little bits. Oh, and in case you're wondering how I blacked that off, you just get a small half wall and just put that right there. There you go. So you don't see that. Yeah, so that is the second floor. While I'm up here, I might as well show you guys the roof technique that I do. So I'll save these two. So start with your roof that you want to do here. So I want to do an overhang on this. That's why I ended up doing the half walls here, so I can get this overhang, this pitch roof. Oh, I can't jump. There you go. It's easier to work when you're actually on the roof. So go to the roofs category, get your first set of roofs that you want to use. This is causing an issue right here with that. Yeah, it doesn't like that. Yep. So as you see, these are causing issues with placing these. So I might have to place those secondary just because they're sticking out. So I got one side done. In order to do the wraparound effect, there is this nice piece right here. Grab that. And I think I used these, actually. Yep, I used those. And then I continued it, I think. Actually, I don't remember. So, I believe it actually went down. Because this is pretty tall. Yeah, that is pretty tall. So as you can tell, there's no way to connect this right here. And I removed that wall piece because of the snapping. So you're going to want to take this angle piece right here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. That's why I removed it. Put it to there. So it requires a little extra step, and you're going to end up removing it. Well, then once you have this piece, and I'll put that in there, then you got that, and you can remove that. So it keeps the slope, and then you can get that corner piece on, and then all the way through, so it wraps all the way around. And again, I use these pieces because they, to me, are aesthetically pleasing. And then I follow it up with some posts. I did a full wraparound on this porch. By the way, to turn items is the left and right trigger on the Xbox controller. I would have to unplug my controller to figure out what they are on PC. And there we go. And now I can end with this piece that I started with. Right there. So I can use those on either end to tidy it up and make it look nice and finished. Additionally, if you guys are using an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller, so if you guys hold the A button while you have a piece and use the joystick, you can move it around. Sometimes it gets caught on stuff. And if you hold the L1 button and move the joystick up and down while holding A, you can move it up and down like this. So that's how you can move pieces that are further away and get them to snap in. Nice little trick. I did have a comment, or someone left a comment about that, and I couldn't quite remember exactly what button it is. But now that I'm in the game, I was able to figure it out. Need to stop scrapping stuff when I am doing that. It's an old habit, really old habit. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. That's fine. I don't know why the wood category is not showing up for me. So, now that we got those, we can put the post in. The posts do snap on here. Again, if you add that, add them like that, and then they go up to the roof. There used to be a way where you can snap a post on and place a railing. There we go. So that's how you guys do that. It's a little shortcut. So start with your base piece here. Do a short piece. And then you do a second short piece. Remove this one. Place your railing. So that I find it again. Go back to your support post and place it. And you can also, if you don't want the multiple layer, you can go with a bigger one on top of that then. So it's just two pieces. So you do a small one and then a big one on top. Mind you, if you're going to do that, make sure you put that railing back before you put that second piece in. And then it'll snap right in. Like that. So I have a piece of overhang that I had where it was just grass. The way I did that is I added this little piece right here wherever I wanted a post. So start with a small piece, get that. If you want, you can do that, and therefore you're kind of cheating the system a little bit. And then you can put these back in, so that way you don't have to worry about it. And then whenever you're done, you can just In fact, let's do that. So we do this floor piece, not the wood. Let's go back to the warehouse. The warehouse floors are much nicer and cleaner than the barn. That's about where we want our second piece. And you can just repeat this to wherever you want it, because physics don't matter. And we'll do that one right here. And I can even do that on this side as well. But this one has the 4 pieces, so I don't need it. And then, same thing. Take your bigger piece. So that way it goes into the ground and makes it look full. Or fully connected and fully supported. Otherwise it might float if I use a smaller piece. And there we go. Now we have our overhang supports. Alright, so this is the overall general structure. I just went and finished all of the supports using that same method. Additionally, I found out something interesting. I don't know if this is by pure accident, but normally when you place a pole or a pillar on these foundations, they always overlap a little bit, and somehow I was able to place this one underneath so that way it sticks out from the foundation, and I definitely like the look of that. Makes it look a lot better. So, yeah, that's kind of a happy accident. I don't remember exactly what I did to do the rest of the roof. I believe it was something similar to this. But as you guys see, there is plenty of room for wiring. And I do have a ceiling on this, or I did have a ceiling on there. So let's get back into workshop mode so dog meat stops following us around. No offense, dog meat. It's just trying to do something here. So these pieces I always left open because they offer a decent amount of room to work on through the inside. So that way I can work on here. And then if I need to, I can open this up by scrapping the floor, and then I have access to this. Most of the wiring was hidden in this segment right here of roof. Just like this. And then if not, then it was run by conduit. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to do that once we get the roof on this part right here. Alright, so as you guys can kind of see, it's starting to take shape. This might not be exactly the proportions, but I'll show a picture of it from the video before and what it looks like now. Obviously that's a finished build. This is a rough build. But from what I can tell, this is pretty much exactly what it looked like. I did have to shorten the second floor up to get that roof piece on the way I had it. But this is it. This is the rough build. And now we can move on to the wiring. So what I am going to do, this is all second floor. I do not have a roof piece put on these walls just yet. So anywhere that there is not a second floor, there is not a roof. And there is a reason for that. Let me actually get a roof put up here. So all these had a nice floor attachment to it. So you don't see these wires. You just see a tall ceiling. Alright, so now that the floor is placed... Oh, actually, I forgot about one thing. One big thing. And that's the doorway. So, I can't believe I forgot about that. The way I did the doorway is very similar to how I did the walls up top. So you start with these half walls on top, and then I use these glass pieces, in particular these two right here. So what they look like, there's a left and a right. So it's kind of finicky to place them. As you can see, they don't like snapping, but that one did. So I'll place that one, and then I'll immediately go to the next one and try to turn it, and just like that.
Over here.
All right.
Move here.
Presently, Mum.
Go there.
Righto. That's a bit out of my reach.
So as you see, it's mostly just for decoration. Apparently AI has a hard time pathing through that. It is what it is. I mean, you could go with a doorway and then they'll go through it just fine.
Heads up. Here.
So they act like a barrier wall, unfortunately, but it does look cool. You could do something like this, and this is what I ended up going with after I did that build. It's just this glass doorway. I haven't tried with just one. I could, in fact, try that. So I'm actually going to try it with just one and see if they pass through now.
Over there.
So he can come in if it's just one.
Heads up. Get into position.
Will do.
So if you guys want to use just one piece, it seems to work. Because then they can still path through and visit the store. There we are. So that is how I did the doorways. Obviously there is some AI issues now. Now that we're done with that, let's move up to the second floor. And I'll show you guys how I wire it. So all the wiring is going to be on this floor. So we actually take these out. So all in here. So let's grab our, I don't know if I have enough copper for this, but you'll go into the conduits and we'll enter a junction here. So this will be a primary junction and we'll use the conduit junction right here. Now if I need to power anything, there is one where it is power radiator. I can use a bunch of these as well. If anything has to be hooked up directly, there was a way to do a conduit junction upside down. There it is, these upside down ones. And the way you get those to work is you take your conduit, and I would run it so the wall's right in the end. I would run it right in the middle. And I'd run it about every square I would have a conduit. So I'd run it in the middle and actually use a full piece. And then I would take this power radiator, well, I'd take this intersection here. You use a power radiator. It's not going to connect right now, but there it is. It snaps right in. So it's a little finicky. I don't think it likes it. It doesn't snap on walls, but if you move it just past the wall, it'll snap in. It really is trial and error with how many you place. So start by your power source, in which case my power source is coming through this wall right here. And there is a trick to do that, is if you get these pylons really close to here. You also got these wall pass-through ones. They do stick out quite a bit on top, which is not ideal. But typically, before, I was able to get these really close and then snap them in on one side. I'm just trying to see if there's a way I can get this to work properly. There we go. Okay, so I figured out the trick. So if you take this long piece, you can see the end of the conduit is still sticking out. So then I can take that conduit and attach my pylon to it. And now I have the power coming into here. So I'll run a bend, straight pipe. So a lot of this is trial and error. The biggest thing is after a bend, I'll do a junction, a T, bare minimum. And then I can start running this power all the way through, and I'll space it out a decent amount. Typically what I'll do is if I'm having issues, I will, if I'm having issues with any power loss in the area, these junctions that I put in, I can always extend more by getting these shorter pipes in here. So as long as I keep it within this tile, I'm good. I can always get a second junction as well. So I can get a 90-degree turn a lot shorter, so I can get power radiant, a radiant power, like right there. And then I can take this little tiny one and wrap it around and get my power radiator right there. So I have two power radiators pretty close. Just for the sake of argument, I'll just put some in here, and I got two of them right there. But it's up to you how you guys want to do it. I do not have a generator running, but I will place one. Just because I'm just going to have a couple lights here. So now this has power. I'll show you guys by the lights. They don't quite reach. Ooh, bad example. So as you can see, the power is quite limited in its size, unfortunately. But if I do, this is another trick that I can do, is I'll take these guys instead of the junctions. For some reason, the power radiant on those are just horrible. So then I'll put a pylon here and connect these wires to here, and now I have plenty of power in this one little area from this pylon instead of that one. And I can do that anywhere there's a wall. I can even do it on the floor instead of having to rely on the conduit. And the power for this one goes pretty far in comparison to the conduit radiator. And you can put it pretty much halfway through the building just on one of those pylons compared to all of these, which I'll even take these out to showcase that one pylon is powering all the way across the building compared to all of these, which have to be pretty close. So if you want an area that only has very localized power, then use the conduits. Otherwise, using this method does work a lot better by using one of these power conduits and using the conduit. The conduit is great for hiding wires and getting little areas so you don't have to do so many wires throughout your entire build, and they're all hidden and they provide enough power. They're also good if you place them in the opposite direction, so that way you can get just a small wire poking through instead of a large one. Not quite sure where it's at. There it is, right there. So really small wire. I can still access it and bring it down without issues, without glitching or anything like that. So for lighting in this area, again, it doesn't reach all the way to the roof. Now if you have it, even on a normal size roof, you have to be pretty much directly above the conduit. As far as going downstairs, so that one doesn't have power at all. Even though there's plenty of radiant power, it is very localized radiant power. Granted, it's great in case you want a small area to have power, but it's enough to light a single light bulb. Like that. More power. You got to use the other method where you use a pylon, connect a wire, and then it has a lot wider power range. And just for the sake of that, I'm going to show you guys this. I could probably power this whole building on just 3 regular conduits. I'll probably put one here, and then one over there. And that'd be enough power to do the whole building. So I'll show you guys that. The power pylons, not conduits. And you can also do these junctions in between the conduits as well. Forgot about that piece. So we got that one there. Got that one there. And that one there. That one might be actually counterintuitive. We don't need that one. So we have, what, 4 of them? And I can always pick these up and move them. And those are good. So that is every single thing on 4 conduits. Technically, if you want to be technical, it's 6. Or 4 power pylons. If you want to be technical, it's 6 with the actual conduit parts of the pylon. But pretty much the entire building's lit up. So we'll add the wall pieces in. And if I have a piece of equipment or like a terminal needs to come through, I can always find a way like this to put it through the wall or have it come up and come through or come down. Oh, forgot that piece. Yeah, there we go. Just like that. There is some flashing between the roof and the wall piece. That is normal. It's just part of Bethesda games, part of Fallout. So it's not much you can do about it. So, but that is, wow, they are loud with that hammering. But there it is, guys. That is a rebuild of the strip mall that I built many years ago. I hope you guys all enjoyed this. Please let me know in the comments below if there's anything else that you guys want me to either rebuild or perhaps build new. We are doing our Let's Play series, and that is still going on. This is just kind of one of those sidetrack things to do, just based upon the requests that I've received to showcase how I build, techniques that I use to run power to make it look clean, no wires, etc. But if you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below on anything you guys would like to see, whether it be Fallout 4 or any other game. If it's specifically building videos, let me know any ideas you guys have, any suggestions, because I would love to hear them. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.